guys, welcome back. So today's video is going to be a story time video, and I haven't done one of these in a while, so I thought I would do one. And this story time video is kind of holiday related, so I thought it would be the perfect time to do it. So here we go. So I'm gonna set the scene for you guys. The year was 2012. The place was the mall. And I have recently fell on some hard times. I was let go from my previous employment at a fast food restaurant. And, you know, I was in need of some money. I was in need of some quick cash, fast money, you know? So it was around October, like late October, and I knew that these places would be hiring for seasonal. So I went to the mall and I applied to a bunch of places at the mall, but the one place that I really wanted was American Girl. And if you've never been to American Girl, American Girl is like a childhood dream. So they have dolls, they have the books, they have the movies that go with the dolls, they have clothing that you can buy for the little girl and the doll. You got accessories. They have a cafe. It's like 2 stories tall. They have a doll hair salon. They have a doll hospital. They have a pet shop. They have a t-shirt shop. They have everything that you can imagine. They have it. And I went inside that place and I was like, oh my gosh. I was like 18 at the time or something like that. So I was like, oh my gosh, my childhood dream is coming to life walking in this place. So I applied for the job. I got an interview and I got hired for the job. And the position that I got hired for was, can you guess? Doll hair salon. So we had 1 day of orientation and 1 day of training. And let me tell you about working at the doll hair salon. Like, working at the doll hair salon was not easy. Like, these dolls do not have human hair. They have like synthetic hair, and doing synthetic hair and doing human hair is not the same. So it really takes like a lot of practice to learn how to do these little dolls hair. And for me, I was just not catching on. Like, I basically sucked at that job. Like, I was horrible at it. Like, all the other seasonals caught on really quickly, and they could do like the fishtail braids and all these like elaborate hairstyles for these dolls, and I was just not catching on. So customers were complaining and it was just really bad. So I got demoted. No, that's not why I got demoted. I lied. This is why I got demoted. Because at the doll hair salon, you can also pierce the doll's ears. And I was really good at piercing the doll's ears. You would just take the doll in the back and you would get this big, huge drill and just drill a hole into the doll's ears and, you know, put a little earring in the doll ear, right? So I was really good at that. So I didn't have a problem doing that. But I guess it was some type of mishap, and one of the other seasonals, like, it was some type of malfunction and like the ear fell off. Like, she drilled the entire ear off. I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't see it happen. I didn't see it go down. But that's what the rumor was. And apparently none of the seasonals could pierce the doll's ears anymore. Like, now, none of my managers had told me that I couldn't pierce the doll's ears personally, but I heard it through the grapevine that I couldn't do it, right? So American Girl is very busy all the time. Like, when I say it be packed in that place, like the line be around the corner, and the doll hair salon was probably one of the most popular attractions. So it was really packed all the time. So I do a little side story real fast. So the permanent girls who worked in the doll hair salon, like the full-time girls or whatever, I wouldn't say that they were mean to me, because I'm not gonna let people just be mean to me, but they kind of had like an attitude problem. They was always like giving me dirty looks and stuff. I'm just like, what's wrong with these girls? But you know, I really didn't care, because I knew that I would only be there for 2 months anyway, and I'll be out. You know, I'm not trying to make friends there anyway, you know. So I feel like those girls had it out for me from the start, and I wasn't good at my job, so they was like, I'm finna try to get this girl fired. Now that I think about it, I was like, that probably was the plan. So one of the girls had asked me to pierce the doll ear, because it was like so packed, and like there was so many people, and she was just like, could you just pierce the doll's ear really quickly, because I got to do all this other stuff. And I'm just like, I thought that they said that we couldn't pierce the doll's ears, seasonal couldn't pierce the doll ears. And she was just like, please, could you do this? So I was just like, okay, fine, let me just quickly do this. And I went in the back, and tell me why, as soon as I'm about to put the drill to the doll's ear, my manager walks in. And my manager her name was Jenny. So Jenny walks in, and she's just like, oh my gosh, Miriam, what are you doing? And I'm just like, what does it look like I'm doing? I'm piercing this doll's ear, right? She's just like, you're not supposed to be doing this, da 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 da. And all the other girls was just looking like, oh, you in trouble. And I'm just looking like, y'all hoes then set me up, right? So basically I got demoted to T-shop girl. Now, T-shop girl makes t-shirts for the dolls and the little girls. So I was working in the t-shirt shop, and that was like across the way from the doll hair salon. And nobody ever went to the t-shirt shop. Like barely no customers went to the t-shirt shop. So it was like very lonely over there, and I didn't have anybody to talk to, and I felt like I was in jail, obviously, because I got demoted. So I was basically, at that point, I was basically the only person working in the t-shirt shop. It would be like me and this older woman, but like I would never see her, because she would leave like 10 minutes before my shift start. She would leave like 10 minutes after my shift start. So like we would only see each other in passing ways. So basically at that point, I became a cashier, because it was a cash register at the t-shirt shop. I really hope that y'all following this story, because I know it's a lot to it. So at this point, I was the cashier, and I had to close the register every night. And I also had to close the pet shop register every night. And the pet shop was just you in a t-shirt shop right here, and then you would go through like a little door, and the pet shop was right here. And no one worked in the pet shop, but it was a cash register at the pet shop as well. So at that point, I became a cashier, and I had to close the pet shop and the t-shirt shop register almost every night, right? So basically I had to close the register every night, and I had no experience being a cashier. Like I wasn't trained at being a cashier or nothing. The only time I was a cashier was at my job where I got fired from at the fast food restaurant, and I was bad at that. So I basically had no experience closing cash registers. But I caught on really quickly, and it became really easy for me. So one particular night, one of my managers had came to me, and she was like, could you please close the doll hair salon? And it was probably like 9:45 at night, and I got off at 10. So I'm just looking like, so I have to close the t-shirt shop register, the doll hair salon register, and the pet shop register. So I'm closing 3 registers, and you think I can do all of this in 15 minutes? I don't think so. So I was just like, no, I get up at 10. I really can't close all these registers. And she's just like, please, could you do it? And I'm just like, okay, fine, I'll do it and get time and a half, right? Because I wasn't about that money, about that cash. I was telling you guys, this place is really popular. People would go in and spend stacks on these little dolls because they were hella expensive, and then they buy all the accessories and all this stuff. So any given night, the cash register will probably have like $5,000 in the cash register. The cash register will always have like a lot of money in it. So basically, guys, the doll hair salon was really popular, and they would always have a lot of money in that particular cash register. And there also would be a lot of money in a t-shirt shop cash register, because when the doll hair salon would get really packed with people, they would always send customers over to the t-shirt shop or to the pet shop and get them to get me to check them out over there. So I went over to the doll hair salon and I closed that cash register and everything was fine. I took the money to the back and everything was fine. So I go to the t-shirt shop and I close this register and everything's fine. I take the money to the back, everything's fine. The register's closed. So when I get to the pet shop was not as popular as the other two. Like, it was not as much money in the pet shop register as it was in the other two. So I was just like, this is gonna be quick and it's gonna be really easy for me to count this money. So I count the money for the pet shop and I was $20 short. So I'm just like, oh, I must have made a mistake. I count the money again, $20 short. At this point, I'm just like, I do not feel like counting this money again because it's like way past 10 o'clock. So I'm counting the money again. I counted 3 times. So I count the money again and I count the money 3 times and I am $20 short. And like I told you guys, I did not have any experience. I did not know what to do in that situation. I did not know that you were supposed to press this red button so one of the managers can come over and count the money for you when this happens, or they're supposed to like write it up or whatever. I don't know. I didn't know that you were supposed to do all that. So I was just like, oh, let me just take this money to the back and get the machine in the back to count the money, because the machine in the back is the machine and it'll tell me if I made a mistake, right? So I take the money to the back and I get the machine to count the money, and once again it is $20 short. So at this point I'm just like, what am I supposed to do? So I tell the man that I always give the money to, I don't know what you call people like him. What do you call people like him? He not like a security guard, but I don't know, whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The man that you get the money to at the end. So I tell him, I'm like, so I give him like the receipt and like the money, and he's just like, okay, do you know that you're $20 short? And I was just like, yeah, I counted the money 3 times and it's just not balancing out and I don't know. And he's just like, well, if you don't come up with $20. So he was just like, well, if you don't come up with $20, I'm going to have to write you up. And I don't know where the money is, but you're going to have to come up with it. And I was just like, well, I don't have the money if that's what you think. He was just like, you know what, let's just like go back to the register and try to look and see if maybe you overlooked the $20 or something like this. So at that point, I'm just like, damn, I'm fired. I'm about to get fired again. And I'm just like, all these thoughts are going through my head, right? So we walk back to the register and he's looking for the $20. And tell me why, like 2 minutes later, he finds the $20. He finds the $20. Like, he's just like, you know what? He's just like, next time this happens, he's just like, make sure you look good next time. I'm just looking like I did look. I checked 3 times. I looked everywhere. I'm just like, I did look. I counted the money 3 times. I did not see an extra $20 in its cash register or whatever. It's just like, okay, well, next time, make sure you look good. And if you ever have this problem again, make sure you press the red button. And I'm just looking like, what red button? No one told me about no red button. So ever since that day, I was always really afraid to close that cash register in particular, because I kid you not, it happened again. I was short. I kid you not, the very next time I closed that same cash register, I came up $20 short again. And I didn't even count the money like multiple times. Like, I count the money twice. I was short $20 twice again. So I immediately pressed that red button. I was like, manager, please come over here and count this money, because I'm not about to get rolled up or anything. I'm not about to get rolled up. I was so excited when that job ended, and I never had to see those people again, because it was very hectic job, and it was around the Christmas time, and they kept playing those Jingle Bell songs, and it was driving me crazy, and the kids were running all over the place, and that job was one of the craziest jobs I ever had. And I just thank the Lord that I do not work there anymore, because that job was crazy, man. And I thought it would be so different. I thought it would be all lollipops and gumdrops and just like the childhood dream I always wanted, but it was not like that. So the moral of the story is, don't work at toy stores or any type of children's stores around the holidays, because it's crazy. And I just thank God I don't have to work there anymore. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I will see you guys in my next video.